Hi guys, thanks so much for watching the Social Life, the place to be for entrepreneurs with a purpose. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a question that I get all the time, and it's about how to connect with your sponsors, how to help you raise funds. And so today that's what I'm going to be focusing on. As a nonprofit, you're not able to just go out, hang out a shingle that says, hey, this is my purpose, this is my mission, and the people will come. So for us, it's a little bit different. We have to find a way to reach out and connect with our sponsors. So today I really wanted to create a video that was going to walk you through how to create that connection with your sponsors, whether it's on social media, whether it's through a newsletter, whether it's on video, wherever it is. You have to learn how to connect to your sponsor and give them what they want. So today I'm sharing a few tips on how you can do just that. My first tip is to focus on results. So a lot of times we get into our mode of doing work and you're focused on trying to always get new funds. But people want to see results of whatever it is that you're doing. And sometimes the result is what the trigger is to actually help you get started with that new sponsor. So if you have an old sponsor though, someone who has been donating to your program often and supporting everything you're doing, you want them to see what you're doing with your funds, right? And so we don't want to keep going back asking, where that's kind of your main mode of what you're doing. You want to take the time to step back and really also show some results of what your program is doing and how you're doing it. These things are very important. You have to remember to focus on the results. Focus on your mission, focus on your results, then focus on the ask. A lot of times we get those backwards, and it's really critical to make sure that you are providing people with the result that they're looking for. Even though you may have something built into your process of how you take funds and how you might sponsor kids. Like when we sponsor kids, we send a thank you note. So even though that is a way of showing a result, you want to be able to show on all of your platforms, all of your mediums, in all of your messaging, the results that you are gaining from working through your purpose. The next tip is really providing storytelling. You want to be a good storyteller. You want to really focus on telling your story, telling the story of the kids or the people that you're helping, telling the story of your purpose, how it came to be, telling the story of your everyday goings on in your nonprofit, telling the story of your volunteers, telling the story of your board members, telling the stories of all the facets of your nonprofit. And a lot of times we forget that these are little stories within our nonprofit that we forget about. We don't run this nonprofit by ourselves, even though it feels like it. You have your board, you have your volunteers, you have the people that you're helping, you have the people that help them, and you have all of these little pockets of stories that we forget to tell. And I've made the same mistake many times. But these are the types of things that you can add into your newsletter, into the content that you write out for social media. These are all things that you can use to really connect with your sponsor, and a way to really reach out and show them that, hey, we are still in business, this is still what we're doing, we are still completing our mission. I had one full year of just shutting down and really focusing on what are the pieces and the nuggets of my nonprofit that I really need to share and that I really need to focus on. And these were some of the things that came out of it. And so I wanted to be able to share these things with you guys so that you're not in the same position that I was of, well, I keep saying the same thing over and over. I keep sharing the same things over and over. No, you want to be able to find the little different stories and the nuggets within your nonprofit. And when you're in it, sometimes it's tough to see these things. So remember that you have a lot of stories to tell about a lot of different people and a lot of different facets of your organization. The next thing you want to talk about is ambassadors. Try to really focus on creating ambassadors. So if you want to connect with your sponsors, you have some sponsors who are just diehard fans and they love everything you do. They love what your mission is. They love your purpose. They love you as a person. And you really need to start focusing on making those people your ambassador for your program. And I'll do a whole video on ambassadors, how to create them, what to do with them, all of those things. But for now, in this video, just really start thinking about who are the people that are my ambassadors for my organization. Are they other partners that you work with, other nonprofits that like share about what you're doing? Are they sponsors that have already given to you, but they're the people that show up at every event, they're the people that like and comment on all of your social media. I mean, they are just diehard fans for your organization and your purpose. You want to find those people, and you want to find a way to recognize them and give them a platform to continue sharing and spreading the word about your organization and what you do. So really remember, you have other people to help amplify your message and make it a little louder than just you. So keep that in mind, and we'll talk about ambassadors in another video. The next thing, and probably one of the most important things I think for any business, is to know your customer. Your customer comes in many different ranges, because you have a customer that is also your client. These are the people that you help and the purpose of your mission. Then you have a customer who is also your sponsor, and the way you speak to them is way different than how you would speak to your client. So it's really important to know your customer, know your subset of customers, and know your messaging to them, like know what they need to hear and how they need to get that information. And that is probably the most integral piece of your organization. And I've actually created a guide for you to learn how to attract the right people to your organization. So if you want to get that guide, you can download it down below. I have the link, and it's the Socialife Guide to Attracting Your Perfect Customer. I want you to download this and just go through the worksheet. You can do the worksheet for various different customers within your organization, but this is a truly integral part because it manages everything that you will be doing with your branding, your marketing, all of these things. And so I'll be talking about this a lot more over the next several weeks, but really and truly, this is a great download for anyone that's looking to really identify who they need to speak to and how they need to speak to them and why they need to say what they need to say, and really attract the type of sponsors, the type of customers, the type of ambassadors, people that want to support your organization. In order to do that, you really need to get down to brass tacks and know your customer. So if you want that, go ahead and download it. It's down in the description box below. It's a super helpful tool. I use it for just about everything I do. It is a free download, so just go ahead and download that. And I hope you enjoy that. Go through the whole process. It's really, really, really I want to say life-changing, but it's not life-changing, but it is a change to your business. It's huge on how you look at everything. Go ahead and look through that and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear. So if you do download, come back and leave a comment down below to let me know what you thought of the download, if it was helpful for you, if it gave you any aha moments, because those are, for me, I get so many aha moments once you know your customer. You have to know your customer to really do anything. So start there. The next thing to be able to connect with your sponsor and be able to reach out with them is to share your journey. I say this all the time, you guys, but it's so powerful. Share your journey. There aren't many people who are going out and starting nonprofits. I mean, there are a ton of nonprofits out there, but not a lot of people go out and do that. And I think you're a really special person when you decide to start a nonprofit, because it's a lot of work. It doesn't immediately pay. Your customers are not people who just saw your shingle and they're coming up to buy a product or a widget. No, it takes a lot to run a nonprofit. It takes a lot of structure to build a nonprofit, and it takes a lot of elbow grease to really kind of get a nonprofit off the ground. So I commend you for even being at this point, whether you're thinking about starting a nonprofit, you've started a nonprofit, you're building one, or you're maintaining one, whatever it is. I'm just really proud of you for being at this point, and people want to know what that process is like. They want to know, like, how are you running this nonprofit? How are you making this work? What hiccups have you come up against? What things have you struggled with? What things are your strengths? Like, I mean, running a nonprofit changes you too, as you watch the transformations for the people that you're helping, it also transforms you. You can see how just one person can really make a difference and rally all these other people around a purpose or a mission, which is what you're doing. So don't underestimate the power of your journey and that people want to hear from you and want to hear what you're doing. Share those things. Share it in your social media. Share it in your newsletter. Share it everywhere you can in any message or medium that you can. So do that. And I think we oftentimes forget about the fact that we are on a journey and that you're trailblazing something new. People haven't necessarily done the nonprofit that you're doing. So just remember that. The next thing I want to talk about is something that I'll go a little bit deeper in another video, but you want to find your purpose alignment so that you can start to partner with people. You want to see where your purpose aligns with other people's purpose or their missions and their vision. You want to be able to connect your mission and your vision and your purpose to another company or organization's mission, vision, and purpose. And the reason you want to be able to do that is so that when you go in to talk to them and you're asking them for a partnership, you can say, hey, look, we're both going this way and we're both going in this direction. And I notice that you tend to work with this demographic in this area, or I know that youth is a really important piece of your business, and I have the vehicle to be able to reach those youth that you're looking for, or this segment of youth that you're looking for. So don't underestimate that just because you're a new, small organization that you don't have anything to offer to someone else, another company, another organization. Also knowing what type of customers you have, what type of sponsors you get in front of, and things like that. That's why it's really important to know who your customer is inside and out, because when you know that, you're able to go to partners or potential partners and say, hey, this is who I reach, and this is who I talk to, this is who my audience is, and I know that you, as a for-profit or non-profit business, need these people as well, and so I can help you get in front of these people if you work with my organization. And that's really what partnerships are, right? You're looking for a win-win situation, something that helps them win and something that helps you win. So you should be going into your partnerships looking at it from the perspective of how can I help them and how can they help me? And then when you present that, you should be able to present with, here's how we can help each other. So really remember to look at your partnership, look at how you can align purpose with the two of them and see how your missions really come together, and start working towards aligning your purpose with specific partners, and make sure it works out for you and them. You should be looking at it from both perspectives. The next thing I really want you guys to remember, and you will see this in future videos as well, is to really start small and start lean. So I know a lot of you have buildings you want to procure, and you want to, have this massive program when you first start. And trust me, I totally understand. When I first started, I was like, I'm going to be national and I want to be everywhere. But what I have found, and what a lot of people have advised me on, which has been amazing. I had a fairy godmother when I was starting, and she told me so much stuff. She just helped guide me in so many ways. Is start lean and start small. Let's start small and lean, and then let's grow it, and then let's get bigger and bigger and wider and wider. And as you're doing that and you're starting small, maybe you don't have a building, maybe there's other ways that you've been able to get your mission started and get out there. One of the things you'll learn is that you're actually ironing out the kinks, so that when you are able to scale and you are able to go to the next level and you do reach sponsors on a larger platform, you're able to really do it without a lot of hiccups, without a lot of issues and problems, and you're not trying to figure out that process when you've got a loan that you've taken out a building on, or that you're trying to pay rent for. And it's okay to start small. Like, people understand that, and they're willing to help you when you start small. So really look at what is the most minimum viable product that I can get, And I know you guys have probably seen a video. I don't even know if I did a video on this, but one of my books that I love is called The Lean Startup. If you haven't read that book, it's a great book to read. You can even just kind of browse it. But the main gist of the idea is, or the main gist of the book is to start small, start lean, and start with your minimum viable product, meaning what is the very minimum that I can do to make this product viable. So for like someone that was creating a widget or something for a for-profit business, you might have, the prototype that you can show and talk about and go present that places. That might be your minimum viable product. And then people might start pre-ordering because they can see that you'll be able to build it. And for a nonprofit, say you want to do some classes or something for young girls or something like that, but you don't have a building yet or you don't have a space. Could you provide that online as classes and then give that to the kids via email to their parents? I mean, what is the most minimum viable way that you can get your product in front of the people that need to see it? So always try to think of your product in that way rather than I have to have the whole shebang right away from the start, because all that does is slow you down and you want to get moving. You want to start moving and make progress. My last tip, and something that I feel like you all need to know, is when you're looking to gain new sponsors or attract more people to your business and to your mission and all of that, you're kind of probably thinking like, where should I focus my efforts? And here's what I would say. I'd say always cast a wide net, okay? So like put your stuff on social media, put it on Twitter, put it on wherever you decide your people are, and cast a wide net there. But really you want to focus your energy and your efforts on your community, your smaller group of people, your family, your start with your family, then open that up to friends, then open that up to your community, then cast your net a little bit wider and wider and wider as you start making traction. So when I first started my nonprofit, I spoke to my husband about it. I said, hey, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to do it, what do you think? And then he said, hey, it sounds great, I'll support you with that. Great. So I had his support. Then you move on to, your in-laws or, your extended family, and see what they think and see if they would support you. Then maybe you hold something for maybe 20 friends and you give a presentation, and then you see if they'll support you. And then if they support you, then they'll start spreading the word and you can go into your community. So you just grow slowly. This is not an overnight process, and I want you all to know that. Start with your board, tell your board about it. And remember that it's not your board's job to raise funds for you. At least that's how I feel. You have a board that wants to raise funds for you, that's great. But don't look for the people to go on your board for them to be your fundraisers. Because when you first start, you're going to be your fundraiser. You're the one with the passion. You're the one with the mission and the purpose and all of that. So you have to be the person that's going to, want to go out and fundraise. You can ask them to talk about it. You can ask them to, share it when you post it. You can do lots of things, but I think it's a lot of pressure when you have new board members to ask them to do the fundraising for you. So ask them if they have any sort of places that they think might be interested in your organization or in this type of niche, so that maybe you can talk to them about partnerships or things like that. But this is just a little extra caveat you don't want to wear out your board, and you don't want them to think that the only reason they're on your board is so that they can raise funds for you. They're there to help advise your organization. So I know I repeat myself on that as well, but I do really feel like that's a super important piece to running a nonprofit, is acknowledging that your board is a very important entity for you, and they really should be there just to advise your organization. And if they choose to help you raise funds, that's great, but you should not be depending on them to do that. So nothing else matters, not your branding, not your website, not your personality, nothing, okay? Nothing else matters if you don't know who you're talking to. So if you really don't know who your target sponsor is, your target customer, if you don't know who that person is and you don't know them inside and out, download that guide that I'm telling you about. I created it specifically for these next several videos because I really do want you guys to at least get this part down. It's one of the most integral pieces of, I feel like, any business, any branding strategy, anything related to creating a website. You have to know who you're talking to. You have to know what they need to know, and you have to know what they want to know, so if you download that worksheet, the link is down below, and I just want you guys to make sure that it's available. If you choose not to do it, totally fine. But really, everything about your business is really built off of that piece. So go ahead and get that. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you had any aha moments. I'd love that too. I really hope this video helped you. If you have not subscribed to this video, go ahead and subscribe. And if you'd like notifications, go ahead and hit the bell. And also, I'd love to have you sign up for the Socialife Diaries and join our tribe on the Socialife Tribe on Facebook. Be sure to answer the questions for the Socialife Tribe. I do not let people in if they have not answered questions. It just lets me know a little bit about what you're doing and how I can help you. And so there's just 3 questions that I ask you to answer, and go ahead and be sure to answer those. Thank you so much for watching. Now get out there and unleash your something amazing. See you soon. Bye, guys.